Absolutely.
And so, we've talked about feng shui, for example. Right. You're not a big follower of that, but you do see certain aspects of it that can impact somebody.
If I can sum that up with one word, that would be harmony.
Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Dr. Joy podcast. I'm joined by Steffi and Dr. Joy.
Thank you.
Nice to have you. I'd like to think that when people see our podcasts on...
Who are you?
Who am I?
Uh-huh.
I'm just Gary. I'm just Gary. I'm a journalism professor.
Gary Metzger, professor of journalism.
Thank you.
At different universities, definitely at Cal State Long Beach.
Thank you. Dr. Joy, I'd like to think that when people see our podcasts on our YouTube channel, they're getting a masterclass in how to be more joyful and how to have happier, better lives. And apparently the country of Finland has picked up on that idea. In case you didn't know, everybody, Finland for the 6th consecutive year was according to the World Happiness Report, is the happiest country in the year. 6 consecutive years. Yes, it's crazy. And apparently people are asking why they're so happy, and they have started offering a guidance on how to be happier. But, why go to Finland when you can have your happiness score increased dramatically just by watching us? So, but anyway, somebody from CNBC decided to take the class. Last March, the tourism department called Visit Finland announced an offer for 10 people to visit the country and take this master class. They received 150,000 applications. But you don't have to apply to take our master class. You can just go to our JoyScore app and take a master class every single day and learn something new about how to increase your joy. But anyway, there are 3 things that this person took away from this master class. There were 4 core themes, Dr. Joy, and some that'll ring very, very true to what we already do. Number 1, nature and lifestyle. Number 2, health and balance. Once again, we're right there. Design and everyday. And the final one, food and well-being. And once again, these are things that we already have on our JoyScore app. Absolutely. And so here are some of the takeaways from this masterclass, but things that you can take away from our JoyScore app as well. Number 1, connecting with nature is important for your mental health no matter where you live. Something that we already knew. Apparently the course said that having a relationship with nature doesn't have to look like being in the forest or sailing on a river. You can take a walk down a bike path. You take a walk by an ocean, take a walk by a river. Walk in a park.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's more about being in tune with our 5 senses as we walk outside to do the simplest things like grabbing a coffee or commuting to work. Nothing that we don't already know from the JoyScore app. Did you know, though, hello, Dennis. Did you know that Finland has a law called Every Man's Right? The Every Man's Right law says that it grants people the right to roam and stay overnight in nature, regardless of land ownership. Many Finnish people camp, frequently walk and bike in nature, and simply embrace all that nature has to offer. So that was number 1, things that we already knew about. Number 2, it is better to have enough than to want for more.
That's interesting.
It is. There's always a downside to aiming higher and wanting more, according to the coach from Finland who offered this idea. Quote, when we're focused on more, we're actually never able to find enough. The goalpost keeps changing. And this author defines enough as balance, harmony, and sufficiency. Embracing enough means having all that you need to thrive, but not carrying around excess. That includes knowing that you are enough just as you are, and you always have been, rather than I will only be happy I achieve this goal or make this amount of money or get this particular product. That's something that we've talked about lots on this podcast, right?
Absolutely.
Well, having huge expectations naturally invites or has the potential to invite huge disappointments.
Yeah.
So keep your expectations realistic.
Exactly.
Did I ever talk about my honeymoon? And I did. The guy.
Yeah.
I mean, that is what is talking about, enough. So that man had enough.
Yeah.
May not be anyone else, but he thought he had enough.
Goals, though.
Huh?
What about goals and wanting to achieve goals and stuff? Where does that?
How do you answer that?
I don't know. I'm hoping Des can answer that.
Well, goals fall in line with expectations. Once you have goals, then you have expectations that you'll get there one day or another. And if you do, great. If you don't, then what happens?
Well, you can have higher goals, levels, things you want to achieve, And my life, there was a time when I was constantly striving for that. And then came a point I said, I have enough. That's it. Because if I keep wanting more and more, that to me felt insanity.
What was the moment of epiphany?
There we go. Yeah. What was that
When
moment?
I broke my leg. Lying in hospital with TV 6 pieces. And all I could think of, all the projects and money and companies I had. And I said, that is insanity. Because at that point I had enough for me, my kids, and their kids. But yet, I couldn't think of anything else except more money.
You were more worried about the money than your health.
Yeah. I mean, my tibia was in 6 pieces.
Yeah.
I thought I died, actually. When I broke my leg, I thought I died, But then I heard, hey, are you okay? I said, oh, thank God I'm not dead.
There is, number 3, sorry. And this really goes to your experiences, Dr. Joy. The way you design your space can impact your mental health.
Absolutely.
And so, we've talked about feng shui, for example.
Right.
You're not a big follower of that, but you do see certain aspects of it that can impact somebody.
If I can sum that up with one word, that would be harmony.
Harmony.
Yeah. To have harmonious approach to your space, design, clashing. So other extreme of harmony could clash, where everything is clashing with everything else, Or everything is harmoniously connecting with everything else and there is no fight, Colors, objects, furnishings, everything.
I mean, you can't have too much furnishing, right?
Actually, this is now getting a little bit off the topic and subject, I had a professor I admired, actually, for his calmness. And so one day he said, that project you need to bring, can you bring it to my house? I said, yeah, absolutely. So I drove up to hand over the project to him, and he invited me in. And I realized he hardly had anything in his house. You know, it was very, very simple, modest, few pieces of furniture, but so calming. No, I said, no wonder he's so calm all the time. It's where he lived.
Got it. So this the coach of this part of this master class and everything said that and talked about how much our homes and the space we visit frequently affect our well-being.
Absolutely.
So in Finland, they have an old saying that a poor man cannot afford bad quality.
Wow.
That's true.
It's such an amazing state. Yeah.
It really is. And quality doesn't mean the expensive thing.
It doesn't.
But what does it mean?
Well, again, you're going back to the principles of design. I have worked on projects where I was challenged to create very soothing, harmonious environment for a person who was very highly agitated, successful, and he dealt with a lot of me every day, and when he came home he wanted to just calm down, so that's what I did. And to sum it up, I just gave him a place which was very harmonious. Colors were harmonious, furnishings, everything. I mean, literally take anyone mentally challenged in this house could live there for a few days and be healed.
So, Dr. Joy, is there a difference between calming colors and joyful colors?
Generally, calming colors would be joyful.
So, what would and in the years since you've designed, have the calming colors changed, or are they still the same?
No. The colors change.
Even the calm colors?
Yes.
Even the joyful colors?
What calming colors are, they're mostly complementing, harmonious, non-clashing types of colors. But the color palettes change. Like I was telling you, Color Institute every year publishes Color of the Year. And then you see all the manufacturers of products, automobiles, you name it, even architectural color products and schemes keep changing because the Color Institute has prescribed or published colors of the year, and everything changes based on those colors. You start seeing, like I was giving an example of mauve, that was a color which started with high-end, expensive products and then kept on going down to Kmart.
Yeah. Dennis, go ahead, sorry.
You talk about color. There's color in nature, and this image that was just playing in front of me with the aspen trees turning their golden color in the fall that they always do in the Rocky Mountains. That's a psychological, has a psychological impact on people who live there because they always look forward to it. Same thing like in New England when the seasonal change comes and you have the color shift in the greenery around them turns to multiple colors of reds and oranges and yellows, and everybody will go see it.
Right.
Color has a psychological impact, and I really noted this when I painted the trim of my house. I painted it sort of a goldenrod yellow, the window frames and everything else. And I was going, I'm not sure that's a good color for me, but, when I found when I came every day, a stressful place at times, I would approach my house and I'd see this color of yellow that would just uplift me.
So, Dennis, let me ask you, because your specialty is graphics, are there calming graphics? Are there joyful graphics? Is there a difference?
Well, I think color has a lot to do with it. If you introduce color, it can excite the eye, and therefore that gets translated to the mind. And there's
So I'll put the question to you: Have the colors changed from calming in like 1980s to now? Have those?
no, I think
Has
they
that palette
I think they
changed?
change subtly. You know, you have the primary colors, the secondary colors, which are a combination of primary colors, and over time, different shades take hold in like the design community, where I think we need to shift to this. You have the mauve period, and then you have bright colors and
Patinas, and I have seen that constantly changing over the years.
Going back to what you were saying with nature, the colors of nature don't change though. Like
No.
sunset is always
no, but they change seasons usually.
That's true. Yeah, that's
And sunsets, everybody wants to go look at a sunset, if they can, or if they have it accessible to them.
Sunset he's talking about. So I generally go for a walk in the evenings, and we have in Long Beach a bike path and a walk path which goes from our area down to the pier.
Right.
And I generally walk down and see the sunset, and my God, the colors you see there is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
And you wonder, how does it have so many beautiful colors in the sunsets,
Well,
and
you
every day is different.
You have sunrises, I walk out of Sheldrake Coffee early in the morning when we have the change of time, and all of a sudden you see these vivid purple, red sunrises.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wow, what a moment to feel grateful for.
Yes.
I think nature is an answer to a lot of, and you mentioned that,
Yes.
connect with nature.
Yeah.
Even
Connect with nature. Yeah.
when you were talking about that teacher who wanted students to at least spend half hour out in the nature, all these things take you back to that reality of life.
Yeah. So, some of the tips talking about, design, annual health, buying meaningful objects that will stand the test of time, making beautiful things and surrounding yourself with them, taking nature in by having plants and buying yourself flowers, thinking about how you can design your space to make your life easier and more functional. And finally, this last piece of advice: meaningfulness is one of the keys to happiness.
Totally.
When you bring flowers to a girlfriend, and they're sitting in a vase on the dining room table, and you enjoy the experience of seeing them, their color and their freshness, and as they bloom, it's a really small thing.
So now that you don't have a girlfriend, what do you do with the flowers?
What do I do with flowers?
You don't
I don't buy flowers anymore.
Do you like flowers as a gift?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Everybody likes flowers.
Okay.
I think so.
But no,
Flowers are the representation of nature.
Yeah.
yeah.